Welcome back to Weekend Out. My name is Gaurav. Naam to suna hoga. Now this is the second week of the new year, so we're kind of getting used to this 2015, right? And another thing that we've gotten used to is this lovely weather. It's been 2-3 months, the weather's been really good, and these days when you step out, you want to be outdoors. So even when we're looking for restaurants, we're looking for restaurants that offer an outdoor experience as well. And I've found one such great restaurant. Now this is a fairly new restaurant, opened about a year ago, and this serves you a variety of food, but the main focus of food here is definitely Afghani food. This is also owned by an Afghani, and up that we've spotted this. It's time for us to go in and check this out.
This is opened on September 2013, so it's going to be 1 year, 3 months. And yes, we have one more outlet that is in Global Village. The USP is friendliness of the staff, good food. From the day we have opened, the quality of the food we have maintained. We have never degraded the quality of the food. Ambience of the restaurant, if you say, it's beautiful. The owners have spent millions on it and a time. The carving of the wood, the carving of the furnitures, they have taken it very carefully.
So when you reach Kabana, you realize that this is a Kabana that starts with a K and not with a C like you would expect, and that is because this Kabana ka Kab comes from Kabul and Ana comes from the Ariana region. This is just for your knowledge, it's got nothing to do with the menu. I've taken a look at the menu. Now this menu is very cleverly divided into two parts. So one is an international menu with more focus on Middle Eastern food. They've also added some pizza and pasta to it. But the main menu that I'm looking for, the main division here, is the Afghan menu. Now when you take a look at this Afghan menu, it's a very, very selective menu. So you don't have everything from Afghanistan, but you've got the main things that you would look for. So this is one of those menus, when you take a look at it, you will think, Acha, I've heard of this. Yeah, I know of these things. So this is a familiar sort of menu, and it won't be so difficult for you to order. But I think I have over-ordered. So here it is, when you start an Afghan meal, the first thing that comes up to your table is definitely the breads, and these are sesame breads that you've got to try, right? And what I've ordered is the soup. This is a soup that you've got to have. It's called the mashawa. Now this has got a lot of ingredients in it. So when you take a look at this, or when you sip it, you get a flavor of a lot of things. Like, you know, there is some corn that I can see over here. There are oats in this soup as well. So this is a very healthy soup, and in Afghanistan they actually do end up having a lot of soups. So I'm going to try this and tell you how this tastes. So on a nice breezy day, slightly cold day, there's nothing like a warm hot bowl of soup. And this soup, like I told you, has got so many ingredients in it. Yeah, this is like a complete meal in itself. So if you're one of those healthy kinds and you want to have only one thing, this is the ideal thing to have. So what can I see in my spoon? I can see some mushroom, I can see some lentil, I can see some tomato, I can see some chicken. What more do you want? Now this is something that's very, very popular food from Afghanistan. This is called the Bulani Gandana. Now in dono words ka apna meaning hai. Bulani is, it's somewhere between a quesadilla and a kachori and a paratha. It's somewhere between that, right? So what you can see is what is a Bulani, and a Gandana is actually the Afghan word for leek. So this is a kachori of a leek. This is a stuffed bread that's stuffed with leeks, right? अब इसे एक बार खाकर देखते हैं. This is like I was saying, very popular street food. You'll see it, a lot of people eating this on busy streets. Okay, so this is hard. So this is more towards the kachori than the quesadilla. So very simple, very plain flavors. मैदा है, अंदर लीक है, और ये pan fried है. Very, very simple, very straightforward. Another popular thing to try from Afghanistan. Now, because this is slightly hard, I'm actually going to use my hands. Okay, so this is the mantu. Now, nobody knows what is the mantu, whether it's a starter or it's a main course. It's actually a bit of both because this is both, right? This is heavy and light. Now, what is this? They're very simple. This is actually a dumpling. It's a steamed dumpling. It can have either beef filling or lamb filling in it, and it's served with a sauce called chaka. Now, chaka is what? It's nothing. It's drained yogurt which has some minced garlic. Before I tell you a little bit more about the mantu, एक bite तो बनती है. Yeah, it's falling off the fork, which means it's done really well. Combination of having dumpling with yogurt. Not very common outside of Afghanistan, of course, but in Afghanistan, this is very, very popular. Now, just to give you an idea of how popular mantu is in Afghanistan, what a hot dog is to New York, a mantu is to Afghanistan. And an Afghan meal can never be complete till you have some great kebabs. Now, these guys have some fantastic kebabs. And I have ordered this platter for two, which I'm going to finish alone, of course. So let's take a look at what kebabs these guys have, right? Now, this is the Shami kebab, what we may know as the Sikh kebab. So this is a mince ka kebab. Then here, this is something very, very special. Now, this is a Shahi kebab. So this actually is a beef fillet that is rolled, like you can see the shape, right? And what is inside is actually some fat. And then this is grilled, and this, of course, is supposed to melt in your mouth. Baki jo isme kebabs hain, there's chicken and there's beef and there's lamb, are the regular kebabs that you may know of. But these are the two kebabs that definitely stand out from the rest of this platter. I'm going to start with this one. Okay, so I'm going to pick up the whole roll of the Shahi kebab. Now this is like an explosion in your mouth, right? You're biting into the meat and the fat that's in the center, it's automatically melting in your mouth. So you're experiencing two things, the meat and the fat. This is beautiful. This Shahi kebab is something that you have to come and try. This definitely calls for one more. Beautifully flavored. Okay, the next very important thing on this platter is the Shami kebab. Now, this Shami kebab is in the form of a Sikh, and what's happened here is that this is a mix of beef and lamb, and of course there's use of fat as well. So this, when you go and cut this, it's very easy. You don't even need a knife to cut this. So I'm guessing this is going to be very, very tender and soft meat. But why guess when I have it on my fork? I can just try it, right? This is almost like a sponge. So when you take it in your mouth and press it between your teeth, it releases a lot of juice. This is really tasty. This is kebab that's worth trying. I think आपको एक बार Kabana आना पड़ेगा to try just these two kebabs. Amazing. So this is typical Afghan tea. This is actually Afghan black with cardamom and saffron. And like you can see, there's a lot of it in front of me. Also what I have is another very typically Afghan dessert. This is the Afghan halwa. अब इसको खा के देखते हैं how this actually tastes. So Afghan halwa with ice cream and Afghan chai, khate pite. I have to tell you one very important thing. And the important thing is that I'm done having a great meal here. Next time you're looking at having some Afghan food, you want a great ambience, you want to go to a place that gives you a great outdoor experience, then Kabana should definitely be on your list. By the way, it's time for me to leave from here, but only with the promise that in this year as well, every single week, we'll bring you some brand new restaurants. And while I go on my search for a new restaurant, you've got to remember only one thing: no sawal, no doubt, sabka solution, weekend out.